Yo, what's up, guys? Here bringing you a very valuable video. Normally don't make videos like this, so I'd say take your opportunity, use it in your advantage. So just two things to say beforehand. Number one, my camera might be lagging here and there, bear with it. You're here for the content here, you're not for the camera itself and me. Number two, if you cannot sit throughout the whole video, probably it's gonna last 20 to 30 minutes, then you can click off right now. It's just gonna waste your time. You're not meant for more discipline and stuff like that anyways. So we're gonna go through this in this video through how you can break out of the cycle of despair, which I'll explain in a minute what it is and stuff like that. And also by the end of the video, you should be able to instantly within tomorrow 10x, or generally, no exaggeration, 20x your discipline. We've used systems like this where my guy Haida was able to go from addicted to many vices like porn, procrastination, laziness, to waking up at 4 a.m. every day to go for 5 kilometer runs, sometimes even waking up before me. Or my guy Mo went from making 300 a month due to poor work ethic and lack of discipline to making 1K plus. So we'll get through these in a minute, but I want to just dive deep into our presentation first. So I'll try and make it as quick as possible, try to explain in the best way as possible. If you have any questions, stuff like that, comment down below, I'll reply anytime. So 3 of the things that men crave the most: unhealthy food, sex, and comfort and ease. So if you're a normal man, I assume you also crave these 3 things. Obviously it makes the difference whether you act on or not, but generally if you're a man, you crave these things. Now, unhealthy foods like sugary foods, fast food, they can bring you there, and then stuff like clubs, porn, masturbation, or avoiding hard work and delaying your work in general, which is comfort and ease, can bring you to shame, guilt, and regret. Now, these are a few feelings, are a few we can call it symptoms of the cycle of despair. So what is a cycle of despair? The cycle of despair is loop of negative thoughts, emotions, and behaviors reinforcing hopelessness and helplessness, trapping, and emotional distress. So now, if I want to make you an example of what the cycle of despair is, you probably went through some of this, right? Say for example, the girl and the toxic relationship. Many of you might have just broken up with a girl that you thought you really loved, but it was a toxic relationship. However, although you keep on getting her out of your life and then focusing back to your work, stuff like that, maybe here and there you feel kind of hopeless, you feel kind of helpless, and you feel like she was the only one, she's special, she's the only one that can make you feel that great, she's the only one that can, make you feel so loved and stuff like that, and so on. And then you just go back to her after a few weeks. You feel the feeling of regret because she wasn't the right decision, and you just ended up going back to the same problem, and you break up again, and so on. And it's a loop that continues. Same way with maybe productivity, right? You could be productive for a few weeks, and then the productivity breaks, and then you have like a whole week to a few months of unproductiveness. Then you get back to the very motivational David Goggins era, and then so on, and you keep on going through this cycle, which is called the cycle of despair. One more example that many people could relate to is you beating your meat for like a long amount of time, trying to stop. It's bad for you, you want to stop, you don't like it, you hate her, and then after like a 2-week streak of finally being able to keep your hands away from it, you just fall back to it for a whole week, resetting continuously your streak, and so on. So it's a continuous loop where you cannot break free out of. So I will exactly teach you how you can break out of this, how I get every one of my clients, when they join my program, first thing we do is we make sure they are not in this infinite cycle. So eventually this is what the cycle of despair looks like. So negative emotions, which then brings you to awareness of the problem. And now here, these two are the reasons why you stay in the cycle of despair. Awareness of the problem, and then you go to avoidance or escape. So how do you avoid or escape these problems? Well, you use short-term reliefs, also known as instant gratification. And so what happens next when you go through instant gratifications like these? Well, you fall into some of these negative feelings: shame, guilt, and regret. And that doesn't do anything but worsening the problem, which brings you back to the negative emotion, and it just continues. It's an infinite loop. It just never ends. It just really never ends. Many of you guys go through it for months, for weeks, for years, literally years, bro. I was in this for a few, I can say just over a year before I understood how it really works, and I broke out of it. So now, avoidance or escape, this is the biggest problem, because this leads to the short-term relief, which once again is the instant gratification. Now, these aren't all the instant gratifications, but these are the main ones, right? Most of us probably would go and seek refuge, how do I call it? Seek some short-term relief from one of these three, but then there's a lot more type of instant gratifications. So what essentially do we need to do? What do we need to change avoidance or escape with, and what do we need to change short-term relief with in order to change all this and break out of the cycle? Well, here it comes. So you need to understand these two things. First of all, avoiding and delaying the problem, also known as procrastination, will keep you in the same position. So now, the reason why you're still in this cycle of despair that never ends is not because you're special, you had a difficult past. It's nothing like that. It's really just because you are delaying or avoiding certain decisions. If you think about it, as humans really just operate out of decision every day, continuously, every second. Literally within now, do I breathe or do I not breathe? Well, if I want to stay alive, I will breathe. When I wake up, do I take my phone or do I just get up straight away, go maybe for a cold shower? Decisions are what makes the difference throughout your day. So now, the more you're avoiding and delaying the problem, rather than problem, we can also, let's say I'll call it slash decision, you will stay in the same position. If you're in point A and you have this bridge to go through in order to get to point B, of course, the only thing you need to do is cross the bridge. If you stand there still, the bridge will never be crossed and you'll never get to point B. So any change that needs to be made will only be made through action. So avoiding and delaying things like tasks, things like these big decisions, things like this conversation, whether you need to have the conversation with your girlfriend or you need to have the conversation, you need to move out of your parents. Stuff like these require you to make big decisions, take big actions and risks. And so never ever avoid these problems slash decisions, because they will only keep you in the same position. If you need to make a change in order to change, is what they say. And then obviously, last but not least, short-term solutions are only for short-term problems. Yeah, sure, you can find some gratification by, say you sit down, you want to work on your business. Sure, you will, maybe if you don't feel like working right now, you feel like scrolling through your phone, 100% you'll feel good, but that's in the moment as you're scrolling on your phone. As soon as you put down your phone and you notice it's been 2 hours, you notice you just wasted so much time, now you wanna work even less than before, you're even more unmotivated. What did you solve? You didn't solve anything. that short-term solution of taking your phone was a solution for a short-term problem. What you want to do instead is you want to, instead of avoid and delay, you need to detect and attack the problem right away, and understand the long-term solutions are only for long-term problems. So essentially this will require you discipline, because when you're taking long-term, when long-term solutions are occurring, most of the times, if not pretty much all the time, you are using discipline. Now that's because obviously the human brain is programmed to look for the easy way out and seek for comfort, as I already talked about the three biggest craving of man. So it's not gonna feel comfortable for you to do the opposite of what you feel like in the moment. However, most of the times the right thing and the hard thing are almost the same. Okay, so detect and attack the problem right away. Don't delay, don't procrastinate on it. You want to attack straight away. How to do that, we'll get to in a minute. And then long-term solutions, you want to start doing delayed gratification. Switch instant with delayed. So instead of looking what is the solutions for this problem for the next few minutes, look for what is the real solution for it to just fade away forever. If I want to work on my computer, would it make more sense to take my phone and scroll, or would it make more sense for me to just sit down and work an hour and a half and do it tomorrow and so on, so that I never ever have to deal with it again, because eventually it will get easier if you keep on doing it. That's how I start working 90 minutes every single morning, first thing in the morning, every day, never miss. Now, these two mixed obviously are the delayed gratification, what we are looking for. And now, how do we eventually do delayed gratification? Well, very simple. Well, not easy, but simple, we can say. You have 3 steps, and I'll let you read. So eventually, 3 steps for delayed gratification: set clear goals, self-awareness and mindfulness, and lastly, switch off of emotions. Now, set clear goals. We're not really talking about long-term goals, because we kind of know already what our long-term goals are, and you probably already wrote somewhere in a paper, or you already visualized what your long-term goals are. For example, most of you probably might have 10K a month, retire parents, I don't know, buy myself a house, move out of my parents. So now, how do you actually set clear goals for small destinations? For example, I'll keep on using the same example so it's easier. I want to sit down and I want to focus on my work for the next 90 minutes. I have the urge to be my me. I have the urge to scroll on social media. I don't want to work. I feel hungry. I want to eat. I feel sleepy. I want to go to sleep. Last thing I want to do, I want to work. So now you want to set clear goals. So if your goal is to work 90 minutes, you should then break that down. Well, in order to work 90 minutes, this is an easy example. So your only step is to just sit down and work. You know already that the smarter decision for you to get those 90 minutes of work done is to just sit down and work. Scrolling on your phone will not do shit. And so if you break that down, well, how do I avoid scrolling on my phone? Don't pick up your phone in the first place. Well, how do I avoid feeling hungry? Well, move your focus to your work. And how do you actually do that? Simply sit down and just get the work done. Now, in order to be able to do that continuously every time, you need self-awareness and mindfulness. And this is not hard. This is not hard to achieve. Most of the time, you just need to have a soft talk of like 20 seconds. Well, which one is the smarter decision to take? None of us are kids here, and you don't need someone else to tell you what's the right thing to do for you to actually know what's the right thing to do. However, your level of self-awareness and mindfulness, which is how much brain power you take to actually understand, accept, and move on with the right task can be reduced when you are practicing things like journaling, meditation, highly focused cold showers, reading books. Stuff like this can increase your level of self-awareness and mindfulness. Last but not least, switch off of emotions. So what do I mean when I say switch off of emotions? It's simply, you feel horny, you feel tired, you feel sleepy, you feel hungry, well, no one gives a fuck. Just do what you need to do. It's very simple. It's like there's no such thing as a cheat code, crack code, I don't know, shortcut for you to switch off your emotions. It's simply, so there's no physical way to ignore your emotions, but you can have the emotions and the feelings and just do what you need to do anyways. Walk towards your clear goals anyways. So it's very simple. Set clear goals, self-awareness and mindfulness, switch off of emotions, and by these three things you can do delayed gratification, which is basically the sum up of detect and attack the problems right away and having long-term solutions for long-term problems. Now, once you do this, this is what your cycle is going to look like. So it no longer starts with negative emotions, but it starts with awareness of problem. Now, for you to be aware of your problem, you would normally have the negative emotions as we saw beforehand, right? But here, once you do the delayed gratification, here's what happened. Awareness of problem, detection of attack, as we talked about earlier, and long-term solution, long-term relief, also known as delayed gratification. As an outcome, you'll have positive and beneficial outcomes and positive emotions. So that's not only positive emotions, it's physical positive and beneficial outcomes. If I sit down here 90 minutes, ignore how I feel, and use delayed gratification, detect and attack every single bad emotion and problem that I receive, I will physically make more money in the future. I will physically have better mental health in the future. That's literally how it works. So not only it gives you a better outcome within your mind and how you feel, but generally, like physically, it will give you better results. And as a result of that, positive emotions, which will lead to increase in discipline and drive for more. Remember this, and drive for more. So using this whole cycle by changing avoidance or escape and short-term relief into detection and attack, well, action as well, and long-term relief, all you're doing is increasing your discipline and drive for more, increasing your drive for more. As a result, you'll keep on being aware of problems and you'll keep on doing this whole cycle, and at the outcome, you'll increase discipline and drive for more as a whole. But in the long term, you'll also, depending on what you're using this cycle for, make more money, make more gains, make more friends, make more, confidence, and so on. So this is called the cycle of despair. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, so if these are positive things, why are we being aware of problems? Where are we finding problems in the first place? This is where you're at. These are no longer problems. So once you make this growth, you will understand that awareness of problems will shift to awareness of opportunities. Why? Because problem equals to opportunity for growth. Once you really grow and you go through this cycle, which is also called feedback loop, we'll get to that in a minute. Once you keep on going through this cycle continuously, you will actually grow and you will understand that those are not really problems, but those are actually opportunities. Because every problem is actually an opportunity for growth, right? So here, awareness of problem. Say you broke up with your girlfriend and you do detection and attack, and long-term relief is instead of looking for other girls, going to the clubs and getting back to her, you start self-development, you go to the gym, right? All the basic stuff that we know about. The positive and outcomes are like you're getting better, you're improving more, you're getting over her, fuck me. Positive emotions will come out of it in the long term, because you'll be satisfied of the man that you've been building as a outcome of the breakup with her, and so increase in discipline and drive for more. So you will increase your discipline because you are able to go through all of those problems, ignore the pain, and instead of avoiding it, which is the easy way out, you are able to detect and attack, which increased your discipline, and now you have more drive. And as a result of having more drive, you do more. So once you go through that phase continuously, you understand that these are not problems in reality. Stuff like breakups, stuff like losing someone out of your life, stuff like going through hard challenges, going into debt, these can be also detected as opportunities. And so as an outcome, this is what your cycle will look like. Awareness of opportunity, detection and attack, long-term relief, positive and beneficial outcomes, positive emotions, increased discipline and drive for more, and awareness of more opportunities. That is the cycle of growth. And that's also how you break out of the negative cycles. Now, before I close it here, obviously I want to say, if you want to use these specific cycles into specific ways to really just grow, because bro, once you understand this cycle, you can use it into anything and improve into every aspect of your life. Let me give you a quick example right here. Put me in a spot. So I have this, it's called the habit tracker. If I can put the focus. Okay, it's not focusing, but you get the idea. So I track my habits every day. I've been doing this for 16 months plus. And the reason why I was able to grow up so much, right, become so much better than who I was 16 months ago, is because I have these. And so what I do is I track my meditation, my journaling, my gym, my weight, my water intake, screen time, deep work and sleep, and so much more. And so what happens is every month I get the average amount of deep work here, the average amount of screen time, stuff like that. And then I can give myself a feedback loop and act on it, just like you can do the same thing on the cycle of growth. What happens is I have the data, and now I can see, okay, well, my screen time was very high, and then my deep work was very low. So what can I do? I can put in more work into my business by decreasing the amount of time spent in my screen time and increasing the amount of time I spent in my work. That's obviously if your screen time and deep work time are not related and you need to use your phone in order to work. You get what I mean when I say screen time? I mean using your phone for, no reason, just wasting time. So by doing that, I took data and I used the feedback. That's why it's called feedback loop. I used the feedback into my next month to become better, and so on. You can use it in anything. You can use it in gym, in the fitness. Well, measure your biceps, and then for the next 2 months and a half, do 3 kinds of different bicep exercise, and then see if your arm grew, and obviously track what you ate, how much you went to the gym, your water, etc. And then next month, switch exercise, see which one helped you grow your biceps more, and so you get the feedback loop. You can do the same thing in your content. See which type of videos work the most, and then do it more, and you get an increase in views. That's called feedback loop. You can do the same in business. Find the structures that help the most. Find the sales closing scripts that work the most, and then use them more, close more, and so on, and keep on upgrading. Once you understand the cycle of growth, you can use it in any area of your life and just keep on improving each day. Now, as I was saying before, obviously you need certain specific types of systems and ways, funnels to really grow in every area. And so obviously for that I cannot include in this video. So if you want to know about that, I have my one-on-one coaching program where I help each one of my clients go through them and really level up one by one within 90 to 120 days. And as an outcome, they always have more discipline, better mental health, more confidence. Most of the time they're making more money, they have better work ethic, they have a better lifestyle, better habits, and so on. And so that's how my guy Haida went from addicted to so many vices like porn, procrastination, laziness, and so on, to waking up sometimes even before me every day, going for 5-kilometer runs. And he also lost a few pounds of fat, as you can see. Shafin course, by the way, I don't sell course, he meant program, really helped me improve myself physically and mentally. He helped me improve myself as a whole and made me feel better than ever. This is because of the many things he just suggested me to do to reach my goals, and also by helping me along. Top guy. So as you can see here, he was one of my first ever clients. And so at the time I did not have all my systems, I did not have my one-on-one program. All I had was I did not have my app. All I had was just phone call 3 times a week, plus it was Google Docs to track his habits. That's all it was, and he was still able to grow up and get so much better. He would literally come back home, get on his phone after school. He had nothing to do. That's how he'd end up doing this kind of shit. But then he started waking up every day at 4 a.m, go for runs, started going to the gym, lost some weight, and he got better. Same goes for my guy Mohammed, that used to make $300 a month due to poor work ethic and lack of discipline. And then he went after my program into making 1K a month plus, as you can see. So he has his own business, obviously. He sells tracksuits, stuff like that. And so when he came to me, he was making $300 a month, 2 to 3 sales. And I was like, okay, bro, so tell me about your tell me about your systems. And he was like, oh, well, I don't really have a system. I'm just working on it a few minutes per day, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. That's how much time he was putting on it. And then he was going to college. He was doing his bulk, eating so many meals per day, going to, going to the gym and so on. He lives at home with like 5 brothers and sisters. So he had a very kind of hard way to change all this. But I was able to help him implement all my systems. And so he was able to actually make, as you can see, 300 within the first week that we started. 5 days into my program, and he made 300. As you can see, that's thanks to all of the deep work session, because I gave him the right systems to get the highest efficient amount of deep work in the least amount of time possible. And he was able to implement it, and he just tripled the systems he was using into his own business, and he made more money. A few months later, he made his first 1K a month, as you can see from here. And then obviously last time I spoke to him after our program, now he's making more than 2K a month. So bro is literally leveling up. But you get the main idea. Now you can see all of my clients' wins and all of my systems and my daily lifestyle when I wake up early as everybody else is sleeping, when I do my gym, and many drop sources like this one that you're watching right now, many value drops, and my client wins daily, stuff like that, every day on my Instagram. That's the first link below that you can go and click. And I'll also leave this mind map for you guys in case you want to go through it by yourself in the second link in the video. But overall, you get the idea. Hope this helped. Hope you stayed here till the end, and if you did, bro, you will go a long way, because that shows a lot about you if you can sit down 40 minutes in an unedited video. If you have any question about the video, obviously go ahead in the comments and ask me. I will give any kind of value that you need, any kind of answer that you need, and I will see you in the next video, bro. Keep grinding.